Hello again for the third time. Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Right. Let's just check if the chat's working this time. Hopefully got the chat on. If someone could be gracious enough to just put something in the chat to let you know that everything's going well and the sound is good. How are we doing there with the sound? Should be all right. Yeah, so I got rudely interrupted. Well, not rudely interrupted, just doing my work. And hopefully this is we're gonna carry on talking about everything that's beyond flat Earth and models, arguing about models and stuff. Yeah. So just now, if you watched the first one, we were just discussing how trying to get people to adhere to models and things like that is just, it's not really the point. It's not what Flat Earth is about. Flat Earth is about awakening. And it's one of those awakenings. It's part of the awakening. You can have an awakening in many different ways. You can have a realization. So just waiting to see if there's anyone in chat saying hi there. Ah, David Banner. Sound good. Okay. Okay, you go ahead. You make your food, man. We had some roast potatoes for our family Christmas lunch, which is a bit rare because we usually have rice. You know, in England, you'd basically probably boil potatoes on a daily basis. Yeah, well, I know we had to when I was a kid, but for us, it's rice. Good. Yeah. Okay. Ellen Mentor, hello there. Yeah, it's great. You know, thank you again to The Final Experiment for helping promote Flat Earth. It's great. I'm getting new subscribers, new views. And actually, one thing we'll look at now on this second round is we'll just put in Flat Earth into YouTube and see what we get. And you'll see how Flat Earth videos, you know, from Flat Earthers are totally suppressed, and all you'll ever get is you know, anti-Flat Earth. Hello, FPV Angel. Was chatting about you earlier and your stuff. So the way you think about how what's going on up there is coming from down here, which is it's quite a novel way of thinking about it, really. All right. So one thing we were talking about, whole creation, sentient beings, and things like that, and I mentioned in the previous stream this top-down view. So maybe you can see here we've got it's a split screen now. This is from X. You can if you just put ants into X, you'll find this video now. It's quite popular. So you've got humans at the top and ants at the bottom. Okay, cool. FPV Angel. Trying to do the same thing, get this kind of T-shaped thing through these two gaps. Yeah, I'll start off by playing that.
You can solve.
Okay, we won't worry about the sound, but you can see how the ants are collectively doing this great job of working out what they've got to do to get that object through these gaps. It's incredible, you know. And that's the fantastic thing about technology, is yeah, you see that? Brilliant. Yeah, that we can see these things happening. We can have this time lapse, yeah. But it's, you know, as humans, it's so difficult for us to even start thinking about the fact that ants might be really highly intelligent. We just don't imagine it, do we? We know yeah, isn't it amazing? Yeah, we know they're intelligent to build their things and this, that, and the other. But look at what they're doing. Okay, and humans they're in about the same time as humans. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. So there's a lot more going on. You know, this is it. We think of ourselves as being, these conscious entities and we're smart. I remember years ago when I was at the dinner table and, when I was a kid, and I remember saying to my dad, well, what if, no, that's right, because he said, humans are the most intelligent animals on the planet. And even at that 10, I must have been like under 10, and I questioned it. I said, well, but what if a rabbit is sitting there thinking the same thing, that I'm smarter than all these other things I see around me? How would you know? And I can't remember the response I got, but that was the question I had. Do you know what I mean? So when you're a flat earther, when you're a truther, you think back to those things, those times in life when there was you notice things from an early age, right? You notice that you don't think the same as other people, or you're not just taking things on face value. You don't necessarily instantly believe what you're told. Yeah. I remember being told by my dad as well that the sun's going to blow up one day, and freaking out for ages about that. But that was just something that was being repeated that was supposedly common knowledge. How do you know if the sun's going to blow up? This is the kind of crap they infect our minds with, man. Yeah, isn't it fantastic, Helen? Yeah, isn't that mental? So now you look at ants on a totally different level, right? I mean, who's smarter, really? Are we really? Are we really that smart? A collection of ants? Maybe one day they'll start building rockets to Mars. Why not? Or maybe they're not stupid enough to think that they could do it. Fantastic, eh? Yeah, me too, Alan. They're fascinating. All creatures are fascinating. And this is it. We've got no idea what's really going on in this world, what's really happening. What's the purpose of all these intelligent, sentient beings? So just because a plant can't move about so much or doesn't move, well, they do. The thing, again, if we use time lapse with plants, we can see them following the sun and things like that. More like the nearest larder. Good point, FPV. Yeah, well, and yeah, you leave, especially in Thailand, you leave food out, and the ants will come, and yeah, they're very smart. They know what they're doing. They carry things off, and they make their chains and things like that. Incredible, yeah. But yeah, the same with flowers. I mean, this is the problem that you get when you realize that everything is sentient and has feelings and might feel pain. People might imagine that plants and things and animals don't feel pain, but how would we know? If it's not screaming out in pain, then it doesn't mean it's not suffering. Yeah. That's you imagine. I wonder if being a tree is kind of even more evolved than being a human. In some ways, you suffer in silence, which is pretty bad, right? Yeah. So that was one vid. Another vid. There's one thing. How do I switch to this? Hang on a minute. I got to switch to the player and turn that off. Right. This one is another really good one, food for thought, yeah? If you want to talk about thinking about models. Really, Ellen? Plants do feel pain and it's proven that they scream. Really? Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, we know that they certainly react. They have feelings. We can tell this from these whatever biofeedback impulses and things like that. But this is the thing, isn't it? If once you're aware of that, then how can you go about your life knowing that whatever you do is going to cause some kind of pain and suffering? Yeah, it's like that's a really, this is one of the things, it's one of the phases, because you have to reach this point of understanding that, okay, this place, this earth, is where everything experiences suffering, and you as a human are experiencing suffering in many forms, and then you're going to feel bad for being alive and being an instrument of suffering, whether it's towards plants or animals or whatever. You can't help it, you know. You might accidentally step on a snail or something, and it's like, you didn't mean it. But then again, with that understanding that this realm is a place where everything, every sentient thing or living creature is going to experience suffering, then it's kind of like, well, you just got to go with it, right? You've got to get over that. FPV Angel, I like your thoughts there. We are the giants and titans, and ants wrote the book. Yeah. Ellen Mentor. Yes, they have T done. They have T equal done tests where people come in with knives to cut them, and other people come in the room with kind words. They recognize the person with knives and start high pitch free. Really? Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, good. Hi, Beth. Beth, thanks for coming back in. Yeah, that's it. I find it amusing too that people think they can model creation. What's up with that? And again, you hit them with that question. You know, it's like, well, explain this, explain that, and it's like, well, you're asking me to explain creation. Nobody can explain that, and they don't understand that the heliocentric Big Bang model is a creation model, and they're trying to explain away creation in a non-sentient format. You know. It's weird because it's not until you think about it that you understand what the heliocentric model is actually all about. Removing us from all of this, what we're talking about here with Ellen and everything, you know, about sentient beings. So yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a struggle once you realize that no matter what you do, even if you become vegan, well, you're still inflicting pain and suffering on plants. So what do? Do you not eat? Do you not eat even fruit? You just drink water? And that's the thing, you kind of like, there comes a point where you actually have to get over that and realize that, well, unfortunately it's a fact of life that we experience suffering, and I'm going to sometimes be a cause of that suffering, and whether I intend it or not. So you know, in that sense, you can even understand that, you know, people with evil intentions have their place. There's a purpose, there's a reason, you know. So, yeah, you kind of have to come to terms with it, don't you? That everyone's on their thing. They're having their journey. They're living out their karma. And so maybe if you're a plant that gets cut down and you scream, well, you know, you're somehow experiencing some kind of karmic justice, maybe. I don't know. FBV Angel, everything has to be scienced. Yeah, but they don't science it. You know, what's scientific about any of this propaganda that's going on? Yeah, where's the scientific measure of curvature? They know that they're avoiding. This is it. They know. Surely they know, on a conscious and subconscious level. Yeah. And look at these ridiculous debates. Look at them. They're just trying to win. Trying to like shame people. And again, this goes back to the whole system that we're born and bred into, the globalistic system, where we are shamed for not adopting the things, you know, beliefs that we're told. Yeah, so they shame you, and we're beyond all that. It doesn't work, you know. So it's funny to watch them trying to do this stuff, and it's like it doesn't really matter at all. So yeah, this one I wanted to look at. Just so we're talking about ovals, and like he points out in here that when you take 2 points, and you know, like with a circle, you just take 1 point and you'd get a piece of string and you draw around it to get your radius. If you take 2 points, they become focal points in an oval. That you create an oval from it, and then those 2 points become focal points. And so I was thinking about this in terms of just, imagineering some kind of model, flat Earth model, where you just think about the sun here. It's very brief, so let's just have a look.
If you just stick 2 pins into some cardboard like this, and then connect them with a string and trace it out, you get my favorite geometric shape, an ellipse. But there's something really special about these 2 pinholes. They're called the focus points, and any straight line you shoot out in any direction from one of the points will bounce off the wall of the ellipse.
So just think about this in terms of how a 24-hour sun might be possible in a flat Earth model with a reflective thing around it. It could be an oval, who knows? But anyway, just keep that in mind.
And always hit the other focus point. And here's proof, because I've got a laser pointer at one focus point, a ball of wax at the other, and a mirrored surface all along the interior wall.
Watch what happens.
You can see no matter which way I point the laser, it always bounces off and lights up the wax.
Oh, bugger. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that point.
Bounces off in light.
So you see that? It's like he's got the light from one focal point, and you bounce it off the side, and it will always go to the other focal point. Yeah. So it's just food for thought, really. Like, how can this tie into some kind of model where the sun's doing something, or you're seeing the sun for a long time because it's at a certain point during the year. Yeah. I mean, I've got nothing solid on this. It's just food for thought. I thought it was fascinating.
The wax.
Yeah, it's very short. And I've tried looking for more clips, but yeah, you can see there, yeah?
Always bounces off in lights.
All right, you move it around and it always goes back to that focal point. Yeah? Well, yeah, I know. FPV Angel, lasers and domes. No, I mean, obviously, yeah, I agree. There's no dome proofs. I don't necessarily go for a dome model. I just wanted to kind of, it's just really just a tangent to think about, how, obviously, we don't have, the sun's not a laser, it's a whole thing of light, yeah? But I just think that there's this mathematical rule or principle that governs this, where, you've got a focal point and the light will always arrive back at that focal point. I just thought it's interesting in that respect. I don't have anything beyond that. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't necessarily adhere to a dome or an ice wall thing. The self. Michio Kaku expressly said nobody in his field uses the scientific method. Really? Well, he's a theoretical, what is he, a theoretical physicist, an astrophysicist? Yeah. It's all about models, but as was talked about earlier, it's like all anyone's doing is using a sky model. Again, do not let these globers tell you that only the globe makes predictions. When they talk about globe predictions, they are talking out of their assholes. Yeah? The globe does not predict anything. We predict things that we see happening in the sky because we recognize the patterns in the sky. And yeah, like FPV Angel said, it's not a dome necessarily. We don't see domeness. We don't see curvature. We see parallel lines, like we're sandwiched between a level surface and a level sky. That's what we see. Yeah, but of course we understand that it can be translated using geometry, not trigonometry. Yeah. And yeah, man has made all this stuff up. What creates nature is the question. Absolutely, FPV Angel. Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, again, we're in this mindset that that there is a creator, but how much are we part of that creation? Again, this is what, when you wake up, when you awaken, you're connecting with consciousness more, aren't you? Identity is a really fundamental thing. We grow up in this world where we are taught to form an identity. You look around you and you see all these people. It could be teachers, it could be friends, colleagues, family. People adopt identities, yeah, and they think that that's me. I'm a policeman, I'm a pilot, I'm an engineer, I'm a scientist, I'm a teacher, yeah, whatever, yeah. No, that's not what you are. You know, or I'm a globie, I'm a flatty. No. Yeah, these are just identities that are put on people by people that are still in that mindset where they have to apply labels and tar everyone with the same brush. The whole point of this is to go beyond labeling. Yeah. Yeah, FPV Angel, I'm not sure about rainbows. I hear what you're saying about that. But then I remember looking from an aircraft and I could see a full circle rainbow in the clouds below us. And it was because the sun was shining down on the aircraft, yeah? And then the shadow of the aircraft was on the cloud, and so was this rainbow. And to me, and I understand that, well, you have to be in a certain... It's only your perspective. I look at rainbows like reflections, because the reflection doesn't exist. It only exists in our eyes. But I'm not sure. I'm not denying what you're saying, FPV Angel. Yeah. I just kind of question that based on my own experience with rainbows, and like how, you know, you can't get to the end of a rainbow because it's always subjective. Yeah, right, okay, you've got, okay, FPV, you've got drone views of a full circle, you just need altitude to see it, still in the same place. Well, that's the thing though, if you move away from the rainbow, does it not kind of go with you? I mean, if it travels with you, then it's not really in an objective place. That's kind of my bone of contention with that. What's this, Earthship Bear? Hey Nick, what do you think of Dell's Q&A with ChatGPT about gravity? I didn't watch it, to be honest. I've just been taking a few days off YouTube and everything. Just been with the family, you know, enjoying, you know, family time. So I'm not sure. I don't have any comment on that because I didn't watch it. I might go and watch it later on then. Yeah. So, yeah. As far as but my understanding with GPT or whatever you call it is that it's doing is harvesting what's information that's been put out there by people anyway. It might be able to harvest a bit deeper than your average Google search, but it's not thinking for itself. It's just gathering information. Yeah. FPV Angel, the light from the sun shifts as you shift. Okay, yeah. I mean, I get that, you know, again, sun is kind of very subjective, isn't it? Of course. Okay, it moves along the field until it leaves the sphere. Well, but then it, you know, it's going to move along with you. So that's my thing. I mean, if you're kind of trying to map out. Okay, I'll have to look at your thing again, but that's where I'm having a bit of a mental block there, is if you're trying to objectively map out where a rainbow is, but then it moves with you as the observer, then it becomes subjective. So I'm not kind of like, yeah, how can it be in one place but move at the same time? It's, yeah. So that's why I kind of see them as the same as... Okay, well, I'll try and map out a local one, but I mean, I've seen rainbows, but they don't necessarily always appear in the same place. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll give it a go. But I mean, that's the thing, you know, just by... So, how can... How can it be in one place objectively, but also move with you and stay in the same place? Okay, so it's to do with the sun angle and your angle relative to it. Okay, I get that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so you obviously the alignment has to be there, right? So, right, you're not going to see it if you're not in line. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, nice one. No, I appreciate you explaining that. I mean, I know it's tiresome to kind of type these things out, but okay. Yeah. Okay, it's not moving, it's the light moving. All right. Yeah. But then, yeah, you also move as well, so that changes things. But yeah, it's kind of, I suppose it is kind of holographic in that sense, isn't it? In a way. Yeah. So, interesting. Earthship Bear, The Way Forward did the same thing with virology and questioning AI. Chilling. Hello there again. Okay, FPV Angel says a time lapse will show you the rainbow revolving on the spot. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. As the sun moves. Right. So, I mean, does there have to be rain or not? I mean, is it just always there? Or do you need that water vapor as well? Yeah. So what I wanted to go over to next, hang on a minute. Just a second. Yeah.
Now, I am a casual boxing fan. I often watch a lot.
You are a waste of space.
Now, I am a...
Oh, shut up. Yeah, let me just move this across. I just wanted to, you know, it's just an example of how, you know, you can put in flat Earth. And you can even, you know, like, okay, I put in flat Earth and I put the filter to this week already. Okay. And what do you get?
What am I looking at?
You get...
Flat Earth is, believe it or not...
If the Earth is...
Oh, that was a year ago. And I set the filter to, you know, a bloody week. Oh, okay, let's try again. Right.
Now, I am a pastor.
So, you know, despite there's bunch of people putting out flat Earth videos, but all you get is anti-flat Earth, yeah?
Okay, fine.
Freaky.
Hello, my name is Tom.
Yeah, greatest sapiens
We're not actually talking.
Yeah. Okay. At least you got Flat Earth Discord. They're okay. They're getting a shout out. That's good. Okay. And yeah, this again.
Sure that
what the
wasn't?
hell's this? You know, Dave McKeegan destroys Flat Earth. Are
you sure that wasn't?
No, they don't.
We can
You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything to prove anything.
Like now that I think about it,
that couldn't be actually looked up already, you know. And I'm sorry to those flat earthers that went along and were
There are
like,
multiple
saying you if you hadn't, you obviously haven't done any research to find out whether people actually see a 24-hour sun, and you could have at least gone beyond an AE map. Yeah. So
Now, I am a pastor.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So there was one I was just going to look at, like. Where
Hello, my
you know,
We're not.
some of the ridiculous
We can
stuff.
throw that under the bus.
Of all the
Oh, yeah. Just gonna.
For as long as humanity has been human.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So no actual videos by flat earthers. Yeah. All right. It's just Brian Cox saying he'd bash flat earthers over the head with
this article.
Newton's Principia.
They're being
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
This YouTuber.
Down.
Oceans, they'd spill over the edges. Yike was flat. What if Earth was flat? Exploring the science.
Okay, what if, I'm going to just check if that's coming up all right. Woo! Yeah. All right, let me just adjust that a second. Ding, 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 do, 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 do. Yeah. Hello again, Effed Up World. Hello, I love your videos recently, Effed Up World. You're doing a great job, man. You just keep on going. Hello again, David. Voy. Don't know what you're on about. Left Kung Fu. Okay, everyone, you're all back. Zeus, Scott. All right, sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, so yeah, I mean, as we can see, and as we all know anyway, you know, Flat Earth just doesn't get a look in. So why are they suppressing it? What are they afraid of? If it's so easy to debunk Flat Earth, then why is it so difficult to... Why are you suppressing it? Yeah? Something went wrong there. Okay. Can you still hear me? Yeah? Alright. So, let's... I mean, you know, and this is it. They make these ridiculous arguments. And then, you know, what if... This one is, what if Earth was flat? Exploring the science.
Of flat Earth theories. I think I messed up. Did I just fall off the edge of the Earth?
Did I fall off the edge of the Earth? Who's been to the edge of the Earth? Who says there's an edge, right? Fallacy number one, okay?
Let's find out. All right, let's unpack this. Imagine a pancake Earth, gravity as we know it, gone.
Okay. Again, gravity, you know, gravity as we know it. Well, you don't know what gravity is, yeah? And I bet he's going to talk about this whole kind of, well, it would change the further you got from the center, which again is just, they're applying, you know, they can't break free from their heliocentric gravity model. They're just incapable of it, yeah? So this is why Flat Earth, whether you end up believing it or not, it doesn't matter. What Flat Earth is a really great exercise in just detaching from what you think you know, detaching from beliefs. Yeah, this is the whole point. This is why Flat Earth is important, because it teaches you how to question what we've been told, how to discern between beliefs and reality, real science and pseudoscience, consensus, manufactured consensus and opinion, and all this stuff. Think for yourself, see for yourself, and, you know, just experience. And this is what Zen's about. This is what Buddhism's about. It's about your direct experience, analyzing and scientifically, you know, analyzing, yeah, your direct experience and what you can and cannot know from it, and accepting what you don't know. If it's not in your direct experience, then you just can't pretend to know. You can only believe. Now, whether it's happening or not is another thing. But, you know, you're allowed to question it. Yeah?
Instead of pulling towards the center, everything would be pulled straight down.
Right, okay, he says everything would be pulled straight down. Well, yeah, but, again, how are you going to prove, you know, where is the proof that of this whole gravitational concept for a globe anyway? Where is it? The only reason gravity is a thing is because, obviously, you can't otherwise stick to the outside of a ball. Physically impossible, yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that there's an up and down, and that just doesn't change anything.
Ocean,
because it's all about interpretation, right?
They'd spill over the edges.
Oceans would spill over. What edges? Where's the edge? Yeah.
Yikes! And what about day and night?
What about day? You see, this is the kind of content they put out. No one is ever going to say, look, flat earthers are so stupid because here is a measure of curvature. Now, I would, if there was a measure of curvature, great. But they come up with this crap. Day and night, seasons, tilt, curvature that doesn't exist, yeah? 24-hour suns in Antarctica. All this stuff way out there, yeah? Planets, other planets, you know? Anything but the fundamental prediction that their globe model makes. Curvature. It's insane.
Forget about the smooth rotation of our globe. A flat...
What rotation? Yeah? Where? You know? Talk about... Don't say forget about it. Just prove it.
Earth would need some bizarre light show to create day and night cycles.
Flat Earth would require some light show. Well, it is an amazing light show going on up there. Do you know what's going on up there? With the stars and meteors and this and that? I haven't got a clue.
Think of a spotlight on a stage. Cool, but chaotic. And don't get me started on seasons.
There you go. Yeah, seasons. Seasons prove a globe.
A flat Earth would struggle to explain the tilt and orbit that give us spring.
Yeah, again, you know, talking about it as if it's fact. Spring, winter, whatever. Yeah. Well, this is the beauty of this intelligently designed place. It's fantastic. And the sun, you know, what's wrong with the sun doing this and that and changing its height and orbits? Yeah.
Summer, fall, and winter. You'd likely end up with eternal summer in some spots and endless winter in others. Brrr. So next time someone mentions flat Earth, just remember, science has our back with a spherical spinning world.
No, you don't have any science. You got none whatsoever. You got pseudoscience. You got explanations, yeah? But this is what you get when you put, you know, this has got the tag flat Earth. So I put flat Earth into the search bar. And this is the kind of crap you get back. All right, just go back through the chat. Mr. Cheswick, hello there. Your songs, man, your songs are just... I wake up and your songs are like earworms, man. Stay with me all day. Love it. They're brilliant. You got to do an album. You got to do a TFE album. God's Child, freeloaded. Science fiction. Flat Earth terra firma. Nick, you have great patience, my friend, to continue picking apart heliocentric lies slowly. Oh, well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say so. And that's all it's about, really. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a... It's like when you see people getting robbed, yeah? You want to stop the perpetrator. You want to help them out. And you don't want to convert them. It's not about converting them. It's just like, just break free. Break free from this idea, you know? This thinking, yeah? That is enslavement. Yeah, DJ, where are the guns? Yeah. You're thinking, oh, just Cheswick, I'm thinking of becoming a conductor now. Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra. Where are the guns, Nathan? Yeah, that is one of my faves. Yeah, definitely. RBX, hello there, Mr. Been some years, but good to see you. Are you still at it? I don't know. Who are you talking to, RBX? Individual perspective, final experiment fakery, new video. Yeah, I did actually just watch that in between what we were talking about. That is a very good point about the footprints. But I know they would probably come back with, well, the ground's frozen solid. That would be their excuse, but it is a good observation. The shadows is very interesting, I must admit. I hadn't looked into it too much. I really, because again, I think I was saying in the earlier stream, I'm not that bothered whether I don't, you know, it doesn't bother me that if they really did go there and see all that. It is a massive effort to fake it. And it's I don't see any problem with actually scrutinizing the footage that's been provided. And yeah, that is actually very interesting. So, you know, that people notice that. It's like, yeah, you'd say the same if they weren't leaving footprints on the moon. And of course, we know that they, you know, the like, what was that? There was a Tom Cruise movie. I know, well, Eric Dubay was showing these scenes from movies, but yeah, there's a Tom Cruise one. Whereas I can't remember what it's he's flying around in this thing, and it's all just, yeah, cinematic dome. And you wouldn't know the difference. They don't need CGI. They just use these projecting domes, yeah? David Banner says, I like Went to Antarctica as my fave. Yeah. Oh, that will be a thank you, RBX. Okay, so what was your comment just now, RBX? Let me just go back to it. Hello there. Been some years, but good to... Okay. Yeah, maybe you've been away for a while. I mean, I've kind of still been here. So good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. Yeah, Gott's child, freeloaded, disappointed in Witsit though. He was thought he was a legit guy. That debate video was pretty compelling. Yeah, I must admit, it is compelling. It is compelling. I like I said, I hadn't really put too much thought into it because, okay, if they went and saw a 24-hour sun, doesn't change anything as far as I'm concerned. You know, apart from an A map, which is just a map projection, one of gazillions that are possible. So it's like I said from the start, it's a false dichotomy. And yeah, it was well planned, and with the intention of doing just that, of just doing what they're doing right now, is trying to, you know, make out that people are leaving flat Earth. Again, it's such a ridiculous thing to say because, you know, we're all flat earthers, whether we know it or not. We're on a flat Earth, and it's not a cult. It's like you're awake to the nonsense. You're awake to everything, all this crap. Yeah, just as, you know, we're awake to the problem, reaction, solution situation that was put about with, you know, whether it's gun control laws or if it's the convid, you know, you can see it a mile off. So yeah, this whole TFE thing was exactly that. It's just another orchestrated thing. And yeah, and that's, you know, again, they're saying, oh, who would turn down a trip to Antarctica? Why aren't these flat earthers taking this free trip? So, yeah, because most of us know that whatever happens, whatever is seen or not seen, it will be used as a, you know, in a way, you know, people's words will be misconstrued and all that thing. I mean, you know, for example, Jaron was, you know, when there's a clip of Jaron saying, well, okay, I was wrong. Well, what he was saying he was wrong about was that, okay, he didn't believe that there would be a 24-hour sun. It doesn't, by default, disprove the flat Earth or falsify the flat Earth or anything like that. It's still flat. But, of course, it's been construed as Jaron saying, okay, I saw a 24-hour sun, therefore the Earth is a globe. I honestly don't know what Jaron actually thinks about that, but that is not what he said, I don't think, you know. But that's why. Donald Plaskett says, I don't think they faked it. Yeah, again, you know, I think anyone could probably go any time and check out this thing. I don't. It's like, yeah, could have been. It's possible. But again, at the same time, it doesn't matter if there's a sun. I mean, look at them focusing on the sun. Which is exactly how the heliocentric model came about. It's all about the sun. And assuming the Earth is another planet. They cannot break free from that. Even though they have, all they've got is indirect evidence and what do they call it? Deductive reasoning. And this is why the Glober thinks they're smart, because you only think that we're on a globe because of deductive reasoning, because you're told that we're another planet and we must be another planet and we must be round like the other planets. And so, you know, blah, 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 yeah? But it's funny, you look at Jupiter, for example. Jupiter's supposed to be a spinning planet, is it not? But then you look at Jupiter and you always see the same thing. That red spot doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't turn around. There isn't a photograph of Jupiter where there isn't a red spot. So there's no spinning going on there. Yeah? Whatever Jupiter is. Same with Saturn. Are there really rings around Saturn? Yeah? What have we got there? So, flat Earth. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to go back through the chat a second. Hello, Mikey Smith. All right there, mate. Oh, Mr. Cheswick, you always worry if your latest track isn't as good as the last one. It's over for me, so like to keep on writing. You just keep on going, man. If that inspiration hits you, just do it. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to see the process. You know, you start with some kind of poetry, as it were, the words, and yeah. Ah, that's great. Yeah. It's so comical. Yeah, it's brilliant. And that's what you've always said, isn't it, Cheswick? It's like, yeah, you just see it as a fun thing to make fun of. Yeah. Squirrel Sniper, hello. Astro ARA, hello there. Yeah, what genre hasn't he done yet? David Banner says. All right. Yeah. So let's go back. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Okay.
If the
Let's just. I'm going to put this filter on again. Today, what have we got today? Flat Earth today. Okay. 24-hour sun rotation exposes flat Earth myths. Yeah. Look. So what they got? CGI planets. Okay. Earth's another planet. All right.
Hello, my name is Tom, and today
hi,
we're going to
Tom.
talk about Geron.
Yeah. Bugger. I can't even bother to go through it. See how I get these horrible Thai adverts.
Hello, my name is Tom, and today.
So flat earthers are getting desperate. No, we're not getting desperate. The Globers are desperate. The Globers are desperate to compromise people. Yeah, look at, they show you the flat earth disc. Yeah. Well, this is why, you know, flat earthers didn't sign up for this, because it wasn't going to be fair. And it was all about a false dichotomy, saying, you know, you flat earthers have a model, and this is the model I'm telling you about. Yeah. Whatever that is. Final experiment discussion. Okay. According to the Bible. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so let's just put the filter on this week. Okay. Simon Dan comes up. This guy comes up. Russian KD. Okay, again, you know, this flat earther proved himself wrong. I'm not even going to bother listening to it. 24-hour sun. Flat earthers are having a terrible week. Yeah, Creaky. Yeah. Now, Creaky's admitted in a recent podcast he did that if you ever see him doing a video with CC in it, it means that he's just been too lazy to do any research, but he never does any research anyway. Yeah. Okay. There was one I was going to look at. Yeah. Yeah, again, you know, they're just pouring out these idiotic ideas. So yeah, there's nothing from actual flat earthers here. So we don't get a look in these days. Yeah. Just don't get a look in. Yeah. Mr. Sensible. Right. Again, another guy that just says, you're stupid. Doesn't do any research, just repeats the official narrative. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we've got people trying to control the narrative, but it doesn't matter to me because, you know, if you're awake, you see this stuff. You understand what's going on. Yeah? Donald Plastic, you get better vape with VGAK vegetable glycerin. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Cheswick, the search is absolute garbage these days. I get Indian scammers and school board meeting popping up when searching for FE, yeah. Yeah. Again, you know, yeah, okay, cool. There's obviously, if that's your gig, if that's your thing, scrutinizing this footage. But I'm certainly not going to be spending too much time worrying about that, really. I mean, yeah, go ahead and debunk it, but you know, it really, you know, the focus should be on Squirrel Sniper. It's only meant to be seen by very few. Yeah, but I would like to actually put together a kind of experiment method, you know, for like a modern day Bedford levels using drones. It's because obviously I think it's important now to do that kind of thing, is to show, look, here's how you measure for curvature. Here's what the globe model predicts. 8 miles, 6 foot of curvature. Yeah? Let's go do it. Let's go do it. Let's put in... Earth curvature calculator. Alright, I'll bring this up on the OBS a second. Turn that one off. Hang on a sec, move this over. Alright. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, let's do it. So, I think the Bedford levels is about 8 miles long. Might be less than. That's 42 feet of curvature. And these so-called advocates of science are trying to tell you that you can't measure curvature. Yeah. Yes, David Banner, you keep repeating that, and I think it's important to do so. You know, they recorded a local sun, and the camera tracked the sun. And that, yeah, you're right, the sun is what's moving. And you can see this if your brain isn't, your mind isn't befuddled with all this nonsense, yeah? I mean, you know, this is it. These hardline globers, they will insist that a horizon is curvature. It's an edge. And they can't, they even if you point out how ridiculous that is. Hi, Chloe. I'm Graham 9, okay. I mean, horizons are this optical effect, and you know, they say, then you say you wouldn't have horizons on a flat Earth. It's like, no. We have horizons and we see perspective. We see this convergence because it is level. Yeah. They actually have to deny what we see. Yeah, that's right. Thanks for the footage, Duffy. Hello, the Sute. Nice one. Nobody's got a wrench, Mikey. I keep it that way. I can, you know, I just let YouTube filter out the really hateful stuff, the bad stuff. I just, you know, I'm just managing this on my own, and I've never had a problem really, to be honest. So yeah, even if the Bedford levels, okay, Bedford levels, let's look it up. Six miles. Okay, it's 6 miles according to that. So let's just 6 miles. Let's put 6 miles in. 6 miles. All right. 24 feet. 24 feet. There should be a drop of 24 feet or a curve or a bulge or however. But either way, there should be 24 feet of measurable curvature. Now, when a globie comes back to you and says we can't measure curvature and horizontal level is curved, it's like, well, how are you going to prove that? How, you know, ask any globe Earth believer how they would even attempt to measure the difference between horizontal and curved. Yeah? Even if they tell you that level is curved, well, okay, if you're telling me level is curved, then there must be a difference between your curved level and horizontal level that must be measurable. It must be. Your globe model predicts this. You can find any Earth curvature calculator, put the same figures in, you'll get the same answers because of the globe model. That's what it predicts. But can you measure that on Earth? No, you cannot, because it doesn't exist. The model is not based on reality. The model is just a model. Well, thank you, Freedom Paradox. Everyone's cool here. It's all cool. We're all just chilling. Yeah, while people are losing their minds. Yeah, you're right, Graham. The Suez Canal, the River Nile, the Amazon. Yeah, these rivers. The amount that what's it called? The drop or whatever that they have from the source to the end is less than what the curvature would be, I think, or whatever. You apply either way, yeah. And then they tell you're stupid because you're saying, well, okay, show me the curve, show me bendy water, show me water not flowing down a curve, and they're like, you don't understand the difference between elevation and curve. It's like, yeah, I do. But can you demonstrate it? No, you can't. Yeah? There is not one thing in reality. There's nothing whatsoever that would make you think we're on a spinning ball. Nothing. Okay, so Mikey Smith, I'll go and check out your stuff later on, see what you've been doing. I know you're looking at the stars a lot. So interesting. That's great, isn't it? This is it. Everyone's doing their own little thing. And that's cool. Putting these theories out there, having ideas. That's the wonderful thing, because you look at the heliocentric model and how many people I suppose you've got Newton, Kepler, so we got like 3 or 4 people that apparently gave us the answers to life, the universe, and everything, and the creation of it all. Yeah, and maybe Eratosthenes along the way, whoever he was and whatever he actually thought. Yeah, but here we are, flat earthers, truthers, and someone goes and gets a mirror and measures the reflection like across, I don't know, 14 miles of lake or something. Or someone, someone else does a measuring experiment, or someone does this or that. We've all got our own little jives, and that's really cool. We're all making this contribution, and Mr. Cheswick is writing the soundtrack. Yeah. Well, this is it. If you are someone that you're worried, if you're trying to cater to your audience, or you've tried, again, people have identified, people have created an identity, whether it's globers or flat earthers. And this is the thing, the globers will pick on the flat earthers that are kind of vulnerable. They're vulnerable because you've got these flat earthers that have tried to create an identity. Yeah. When I look at someone like Martin Lidke, and I really admire Martin, Flat Earth British, because he's just gone off on his thing, and you saw him grow and expand, and he's investigated this Tartaria and past history and ancient civilizations, and it's just like, just having these ideas, and he's built up this community of people contributing this, that, and the other. And I think it's fantastic. Yeah. That's a whole nother aspect. You've got Wise Up as well, looking at all these things, bringing out. You can agree with them or disagree with them. It doesn't matter. But they're bringing forward fantastic stuff to think about. Yeah? It's incredible. Yeah? And that's science. We're exploring the world around us. Yeah? And again, this is what is really important when I'm doing this book, and I'm just kind of like laying it out like this, I know Nathan's doing a book as well, and obviously I think Nathan's going off on the technical aspects of it, which is brilliant. That's going to be a brilliant tomb of a resource, yeah? But the kind of angle I'm taking with my writing is really about the kind of mind thing, about just kind of, I don't want to be bogged down with technical stuff. It's not like an encyclopedia in that respect. It's more like, let's see how you can, let's examine what's going on in the mind. What's going on in the eyes, yeah? Let's examine the stuff we're told and just compare it with reality. Yeah. What's that, Squirrel Sniper? Nickers, anyone? Hang on just a sec. Scroll up again. Has anyone reduced Ares' failure with his telescope filled with water? Oh, reproduced. I don't know, Squirrel Sniper. Yeah. I've not heard of anyone doing that. Lev Kung Fu. No, it shows where your discernment is. The effed up world. Okay. Individual perspective. A right angle on a curved surface isn't hard to picture in the micro. Now try and picture it in the macro. Martin's another stooge. Why'd you say that? Yeah, we shouldn't attack truthers. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's truthers that I agree or disagree with, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to make a point of it. Yeah, there's a lot I don't make public. Because this is it. We do have to just, live and let live in many respects, yeah. And again, because, why should you assume that someone else is representing you? They're not. This is what the Globers love. They want to create this division, yeah. They want to say, oh, look at him, It's funny. Will Duffy did a response video to mine, one of my videos, and but he didn't talk about me. Well, he did a little bit, but then he's talked about Eric DeBay and David Weiss and other people. And I'm like, well, hang on, you're doing a response video about me, but you're talking about as if like I identify with all these other people. Yeah. I think everyone's doing their thing, and it's fine. This is it. I might be a little bit disappointed that someone does this or that or doesn't think this far ahead sometimes, but so what? I mean, they're each, we're all creating our own karma, yeah? And just, you don't need to think that someone else says something that they're representing you, yeah? Don't fall into that trap. Mighty Atom. Local high-tech film studios are popping up everywhere. Edmonton, East London, another in Essex. Hollywood sponsored, I believe. Dagenham. It's big business, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you look at what Netflix is doing. They got it right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that fussed about. I never see anything very exciting on Netflix, but they've got their model sussed. They know what they're doing there. And they're creating a massive industry out of it. Yeah. Auto hoax. If we lived on a ball every direction from perspective of the observer is downward, yeah. So if you're standing in a river, exactly that, man. You just gotta, yeah. Oh, okay. Individual perspective. It's not division. It's an observation. All right. Well, yeah. I'm not sure. Hello, Uncommon Sense. Ah, you're back. Okay, yeah. So this is it, this is their model, this Earth curve, this is their model. But it has no bearing on reality whatsoever. So it's like, it should be globe model curvature calculator, because this doesn't happen in reality. Not at all. Ever. Yeah? This is where it's at. Right here. Yeah? And even when you do look at the sun, like you say, David Banner, it's obviously local. It's obviously the thing that's moving. Why shouldn't it be? Yeah. Dagenham Market, yeah. I miss England though. I do. I do miss England. There's a lot, there's a lot to be said about, there's a lot of good things about that place, yeah. I mean, there's a reason that, it is almost the centre of the world, the centre of the empire, yeah. Yeah, exactly. After that word, imagining curvature while imagining motion while imagining FE is dumb. Right. Yeah, you've got to separate them. I remember it's like it's like a jigsaw, you know. With the heliocentric model, you've got all these jigsaw places, and then one by one you look at them. It's like, okay, spin. Right, where's the proof of spin? No, there's none of that. Oh, there's this and that, but okay, there's no actual proof. Okay, curvature, where's that? No. Distance to the stars. Okay. And then all these puzzle pieces, you start taking them out bit by bit, and you realize that you have this very compartmentalized picture, but then you start replacing those puzzle pieces with the different puzzle pieces of flat Earth, yeah, and real physics, real science, and this whole new picture emerges. Yeah, that's how it felt to me when I was going through it that first 3 months, 6 months. You know, it's like you're deconstructing the globe, and this is what the globers don't like. They hate it because why are you attacking the globe? It's, I'm not attacking the globe. You feel like you're under attack because it's a belief. You're defending a belief. Yeah? But if it's true science, it shouldn't be afraid, you know, the truth shouldn't be afraid of being scrutinized. But the globers hate it when you start scrutinizing their claims. And you just say, well, where's the measurement? Where's the proof? Yeah? And all they can do is refer to consensus. Yeah? And again, whether you come out of this believing in a flat earth or not, it doesn't matter. What you've understood is that you believed something that is totally the opposite to your direct experience. Yeah? Oh, that's a shame, David. They destroyed the market here in Essex. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that before. Yeah. But, you know, maybe we'd be forced. Imagine if, you know, imagine if the, you know, like supermarkets and everything, just some mega problem, you know, or just, you know, the way things are going with the whole kind of like the dairy industry and things like that. You know, maybe it will force people to go back to this kind of local, decentralized system. It's not long ago, man. It's only in a generation or so that this whole nonsense. Even if you go back like I don't know, you go back to the 90s. You look at a concert in the 90s, no phones. People aren't holding their phones up. They're actually enjoying the concert. Then you fast forward a few years and everyone's got their phones out. And it's just like they're totally missing the moment because they're trying to record it for some shitty recording, you know. And it's like, oh man, just. You know, I think we might well grow out of it. I hope so. Yeah. What's that individual perspective? Spent the morning climbing a gorge in the Dales. Pretty sure the water was going one way. Yes. Right angles don't work on curves. So yeah, exactly. Fair shout. Well said, individual perspective. It's good to see you. Chatting away. Stephen Watson, hello, fellow loons. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Ellen, yes, they won't grow out of it. It's their identity. Yeah, I think that's a major part of it, isn't it? Identity, identifying with it. Yeah. And again, that's something I'm addressing in the book because it's really important to understand that you know, and we it's all something we can relate to. I'm sure all of us have been through it. You know, when you start to get that, you know, you go into the real world, the world of work, shall we say? Yeah, you might become an estate agent or someone with some kind of authority, and you take up that role. Yeah, I mean, I know I did when I was a teacher, and I know I do as a parent. Sometimes I unconsciously take on the role that my parents did, and then you have to stop and think about it. It's like, no, I'm not gonna follow that way. I'm gonna do it my own way. Number one, like Yahuwah, it's not going to get any better. The heavenly scriptures say so. The devil has been released for a short time. Yeah, it probably never changes. Yeah, this is it. We are here for the people that are ready. and that's fine. You know, you can't expect. I mean, again, you know, so many people. You know, most people, you could say, or a significant chunk of people, are not focused on self-improvement, are not focused on finding the truth. They're just interested in exploiting. This is the problem we're having in the UK at the moment, right? Where, you know, you've got all these people that have come in from other places where their culture, you know, they've come in, they haven't been vetted, you know, they have no connection to the British culture, and they are from cultures in which there are no real rules and regulations. There, you know, it's like I want, I take kind of attitude, yeah. That's right, Squirrel Sniper. Yeah, the Globeheads haven't reached a spirit. Yeah, this is it. This is very, very true. Yeah, they I don't want to know about that. You know, go away. Oh, yeah, they don't want to. Yeah, it really bothers them, and that's what they're defending. They're defending this loss of their identity. But when you're following that spiritual path, you know that that doesn't matter. That's a shell that you can outgrow, you can get rid of. I mean, look at animals, how they shed their skin. Yeah, they grow out of their old shells. We must do that too if we want to improve, if we want to evolve spiritually. Yeah. Auto hoax. FEs should be trying to save students beginning at college with an emphasis on cosmology, astrophysics. Imagine going into debt. 1,000 USD for a degree in such. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sure, I mean, you know, an education helps you get along, but you know, my daughter, my eldest daughter, right now, she was educated here in Thailand, but you know, kind of, she got into a music career, and I love it because she really is following her passion. She's got gigs lined up. She's out now, you know, gigs lined up all over Christmas and New Year. She's teaching music. She's got a well-paid job. Earns more money than me, and you know, she's doing what she loves. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and so that's great. It worked out without, you know, stressing too much about getting PhDs and degrees and what have you. Yeah, she's following her passion, and as far as I'm concerned, as a father, that's wonderful. You know, it's like, great, off you go, enjoy. Mr. Cheswick, show me bendy oceans, the curve, the spin, the pressure without containment, and I'll quit FE and become Duffy's goon of the stool. Yeah. Sea lightning, 300 miles. Hello, thank you. Graham 9. Flat earthers need to leave the feck alone. We've no right to force our opinions on others. Yeah. I mean, this is it. It's kind of like, you do get to that point, don't you? There are those early stages where you just want to shake people awake, and you say, hey, you know. But then you realise that ain't going to happen. It's really a personal journey. You gotta leave it. Yeah. Thank you, Ellen. Yeah. Please do hit like and subscribe. Yeah, it does help, you know, with the algorithms, obviously, and we need that. Not for me, but just for getting this content out there. Yeah. Autocorrect. Yeah. Lev Kung Fu says Neil deGrasse Tyson also said we should not pick and choose what parts of reality to acknowledge. Right, yeah. Yeah, he's just a storyteller. Yeah. And again, so conceited in that. Yeah, that's it. No, so it is a good point. That whoever made it, I'm sorry, Eleanor, was it you? About forcing our ideas, or who was it? Who was it? You got PTSD, Donald. Donald. That's true, Bill Hesford. Hello there. Letting go of hard-earned anything is hard. Yeah, okay, Graham. Sorry, flat earthers need to leave folk alone. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, we put the information out there, and of course, you know, you can lead a horse to water, kind of thing. And yeah, you just as well be there for the people that are ready. Just like with the convid thing, you know, it was, we tried so hard to just try and get people to think, look at the bigger picture, but they won't, because they're so wrapped up with their identity and the whole kind of shame thing. You know, it's all unconscious. You know, in that the way that apparently Jesus said, you know, forgive them, they know not what they do. It's so true in many respects. They, you know, it's a step in the awakening to, this is what the thing is, awakening, isn't it? Whatever awakens you is that realization that there's this stuff going on in your mind that you weren't really aware of. There's this narrative that you're following along with. It's like a, you know, being following the movie. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you're just going to get lost in it, don't you? But that is life, isn't it? You know, you do things, you create work, you create things, and then ultimately they get destroyed. You know, look at those monks. Is it the Tibetan monks that create those mandalas, piece by piece, you know, grain by grain, and then they destroy them. And yeah, and you know, I think, you know, the same with what is it? What are the monks? The Shaolin monks. You know, okay, the athletics and what they do with their bodies is amazing. That's one thing, but really, it's all about the mind. The whole concept there is that no pain, no gain. You have to go through suffering, and you can overcome it. So, you know, you stretch your legs and you do all this, and you get beaten up, and you do your hands, and eventually you go through it, and you come out and you survive, and you're better for it. So yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's about the mind. So, you know, you don't have to become a Shaolin monk to train the mind. It's one method of taking it from the physical, internalizing it, and overcoming the pain, the suffering, and the fear. Yeah, but you can do that without the physical aspect as well. That's what this is all about. That's why this one's titled Beyond Flat Earth. Yeah, or whatever. I can't. Beyond the models. Number one, like Yahuwah, we know that it's flat. We know that we've been lied to, but why? It's because the devil and the people who worship him don't want us to know our creator. He's above us. Read the Ascension of Isaiah. Yeah. Again, respect to all of that, and you know, you can learn a lot from all those readings. But again, we don't have to rely on any gurus. We don't have to rely on any writings. We don't have to rely on anything to see reality for what it is. It's all about what goes on in the mind. Yeah. I mean, gurus are helpful because they can point you in the direction, but that ultimately the guru knows that his apprentice is going to come and go and move on. Yeah. That's, you know, that's the guru's job, is not to tell you how it is. It's just to be there as a bit of a guide, because they've been through it and they had a guru. And then after that, you're on your own, mate. Yeah. And that's the wonderful adventure this life is, man. Yeah. And if you're following your passion, if you're standing on your own truth, and it really is an intellectually honest truth, not just a belief, mission accomplished. Yeah. You don't need bloody, you know, Will Duffy's telling you what is and what isn't, controlling the narrative. Yeah. Again, we're immune to that. We got the flat earth vaccine. Gurus and whiskey preachers, yeah. Yeah. This is it. No preacher, no guru should be telling you how things are. They should be telling you, work it out for yourself. Do your own research. All they got to do is point you in a direction. Anyone on whatever they're believing and trying to get you to believe with them, if they're doing that and telling you this is the way it is, you can't argue with me. And it's something that goes beyond direct experience, they're full of bullshit. What's that? Number one, like Yahuwah? No, it's not about what goes on in the mind. We have history that goes all the way back to creation that tells us about this place, why we are here. And well, yeah, you have stories. I mean, I will contest that because you don't know that. You might know the story, but you don't know that. That's not your direct experience. Yeah, so you can't claim that. Okay, so it is in the mind. I'm afraid it is in that respect. You know, the stories about creation that are in your mind were put there by someone else, by writings that might be revered. There might be a very good reason for it, and I'm not disputing that. Don't get me wrong, but you know, if you think you have the answers to how and why it was created, well, you can't know that to be the truth. Yeah, and again, that's not to disrespect really, you know, these things, these teachings, but it does come down to our interpretation of them. Yeah, and you know, even the Buddha wouldn't broach that subject, you know, about God, about creation, about the afterlife, because it's not something that you can actually know and preach and teach. It has to be direct experience. And you know that you can't have someone else's direct experience. Well, okay, number one, you're telling me that, okay, prophet, you're saying Isaiah is not a guru, he is a prophet who went to the most high place. Did you meet this prophet? Do you know this prophet? Did you see this happen? Yeah? Now, and saw the most high Elohim God. Where are you getting these words from? Did they, you know? You heard them from somewhere. And again, you know, it's all out into interpretation, because the heaven, to me, in my mind, the heaven and hell can be in the mind and in the heart. It's all connected, yeah? You know? Personally, I feel I've made loads of personal progress over the last few years. Yes, by listening to gurus of across the board, yeah, or prophets, yeah, okay. But one of the biggest problems we have in the world now is people saying, you know, this is the word of God, this is how it's supposed to be, and I want to impose this on you and the rest of society, and the rest of you are dogs and dregs, and you know, you're whatever you are, you know, this is it. You know, you end up kind of hating on other people to defend a belief. Yeah, so heaven, you know, the thing is, on this earth, in this realm, heaven and hell exist because, you know, people suffer greatly. Physical pain, torture, mental pain, anguish, yeah. It's all here. You know, we can experience it, yeah. We can experience heaven and hell. And, you know, again, I'm not denying that there is a creator. I'm not far from denying that there's a creator. I just question what the gig really is there as far as creation. Yeah, and I don't have any answers. I don't assume I'm going to get any either. Yeah. Mr. Cheswick, you listen to everyone but listen. Yeah, fair shout, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Individual perspective, that's true, but you can have an experience, and all the religions are point towards. Yeah, again, I agree with that. Individual perspective, yes. Because this is the human experience that we have. That when you get down to it, you understand that we are in this world of suffering, and people adopt identities, and that's not the real you. The real you is a connection with the Creator, with God. Okay? Yeah, totally with that. And again, you don't need books. You don't need gurus to tell you this. You just need awareness. You need presence. Yeah? You need to understand, the consciousness and thoughts, how thoughts pollute it. Yeah? The mission, as far as I'm concerned, is to be free of thoughts. And that's really, really, really difficult to do. To be free of thoughts. Yeah? Okay, hang on. Number one is coming back with stuff there. Number one, but the historical writings are so many compiled over so many years, and they all say the same thing that makes them valuable and reliable. It's history. It is so well documented by many other. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. So again, certain labels but yes, they are talking about the same thing. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, it's great that it's written down as a guide, but again, it's all got to come down to direct experience. Now, if you've had that direct experience, with God, if you've communicated with God and, you found that connection and it's very real and tangible for you, I do not deny that. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Donald Classic should be a world of love. Well, again, yeah, this is it. When you experience that, it's heaven. But unfortunately, we also have to experience hell as well. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, but okay, number one, like Yahuwah. This is the problem we're dealing with, though, isn't it? When it comes to the globe as well, heliocentrism. There are many, many books, thousands of books, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of books. And, just to go, like we were looking at YouTube just now, the same thing, the same rhetoric. We can all repeat it. We all know the story. We all know it. We've all heard the story. We know it back to front. Yeah? Is it real? Yeah, and again, this isn't to diss you or anything like that. It's or that. It's just I'm not. You don't have to be attached to it. What's that, Zeus? Got the Kundalini key, be the Jesus in you. Yeah. Again, we could argue forever and philosophize about what the word Jesus really means. I was talking to a guy the other day, met another YouTuber, and he's a born-again Christian, so we talked about that, and he was explaining to me what that actually is, to be a born-again Christian. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, I've got friends of all faiths, it doesn't matter, we can all, and this is it, we can talk, whether it's a Muslim or a Buddhist or a born-again Christian, we can all talk, and we all again, yeah, we do have that same understanding that there are a lot of people trapped in this kind of hellish world, and you can escape that hellish world by accepting God or the Creator, the Word of God, if you like. Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, you can find that inner peace and inner freedom. Do not deny that. I just try not to, because the moment you start applying labels to it is where my goal is what's called the innocent perception, where you're looking at things but you're not labeling them. Yeah. You're looking at a flower and it's not a pink flower. It's just creation. It's just an expression of creation. Yeah. No labels. The innocent perception. Yeah. Kim Dawes, hello. Late to the chat, but the Bible describes a flat plane throughout the Bible. Okay. Yeah. Number one, like you hear, you question what the gig really is. You say you don't have any answers. I'm saying there is answers because it has been historically documented and many of the documents have been left out of the... Okay, you ran out of space there. Yeah. Yeah, but okay, again, I'm kind of like, how do I make this point without kind of like, again, not attacking you, but just by... Who is the authority on what God is? Who are these people? Just because it's widely documented. And yeah, we can arrive at the same conclusions, that there is creation, there is a creator, and we have a connection with the creator just like any other sentient being. But for what purpose? For what purpose do we suffer? I mean, it seems to me we have to grow, we have to evolve spiritually. And then does the soul, does the spirit carry on as the same thing, identity or whatever, after the physical death? Yeah. And it's like, well, do we then, where's heaven? Where is it? Yeah. Where do we go? Where does the soul go? Does it hang around? Does it just disappear? Does it go to another realm? Yeah. Again, open to all of this, but what can we prove? Yeah. It's bad enough trying to just tell people that the earth is flat and them just denying it completely. Yeah. When you start trying to say, well, heaven is there, and you got to do this, and you got to say that, and you got to believe this. It's like, well, that's all kind of stuff made up by humans. Yeah. And for the most part, religious people are very nice, and because you're trying to follow a good way of living. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Loving your neighbors and everything. I think it's great. Yeah. I just hesitate to put a label on things, or give, this is where you can end up getting into arguments. It's like, no, let's just leave the labels out. Yeah. And we can't, we cannot presuppose the intention, of God, really. Yeah. And one thing we do realize as you grow is that you face struggles and you overcome them. And yes, it's great if you can call on God for a bit of help, to guidance, but you're asking for that inner guidance, right? This is it. The whole point is to detach from the material world, detach from all this garbage that they tell us we have to consume and believe in, and all this stuff, yeah, that success society dictates, yeah, and really listen to that inner voice. And yes, I totally agree. When you get to the point where you can listen to the inner voice without thoughts polluting them. This is the thing. Our spirits are polluted by thoughts. It's only when you are free of thoughts and thinking that you experience that spiritual reality, yeah? So yes, in that sense, the religions and, the scientific things, Buddhism, Taoism, Zen, it's all about observing nature and observing, everything, and making that comparison and understanding that, you are a blip. And it can sound kind of like, it can sound demoralizing to just reach that realization that things just pop in and out of existence, and they, in the big picture of things, they have no meaning, because we place so much importance on our own lives and our own being, yeah, and of course those of other people, yeah, but in the big picture, it's just like things pop in and out of existence. Whether it's random or intentional is kind of irrelevant. It's just a fact of life that things come into existence and they go. They come and they go, yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's actually, that's quite a struggle to deal with, because it's like, well, I'm so important. It's all about me, because everything we experience is all about me. It's just, I'm experiencing this. No one else. It's my experience. And you want to tell me that it means nothing? Yeah, but the thing is, there's so much freedom that comes with that realization, because then you're not afraid of death. You're not afraid of what other people think about you. You're not afraid of the death of your ego and the death of your identity. Then you're free. Yeah? Free of all that, yeah? You're free of thought. Oh, what's that? I'll just go back through the chat. FBV Angel. Ah, sorry. It's great. I love the discussion. I welcome it. Okay, I just don't want people to. I'm going back to your comment number one. Like, who? I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. I just don't want people to discount history so much because we have writings that go back to Adam and the first men who were created, and it gives us answers. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Again, cool. Yeah, and that's great. I mean, yes, and that's it's like what we're doing now. We're putting things on record for the future. Yeah. So please don't think that I'm dissing that. It's fine, and I appreciate the importance of those things, but they're also not the be all in it, because it all ends with us ultimately. Brian A. Metz, hello there. Leon, hello mate. Maybe spherical, what are you talking about? Graham 9, I'm wondering if this place is a test for your soul before the next level. Yeah, I have similar thoughts. Yeah, Effed Up World. The first book of Adam and Eve is mind-blowing. Okay, yeah. Again, listening to what Effed Up World has to say, I do, like I said, I am tuning into your thoughts and your kind of Bible-guided talks. It's great. Yeah, it's, again, when you're not attached to any kind of religion or belief, you can listen to anyone's and like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's wise words. Yeah, so that's fine. And I think there's nothing wrong at all with studying that. It's all good. And so yeah, we've all got our own individual paths, and we can all learn from each other. We're all each other's teachers, and that's great. Yeah. The Jolly Man, hello. Compass the waters with bounds. Okay. NA literalist, floors at depot. Okay. Our balls. Okay. Yeah, no, Mr. Cheswick is agreeing there. The Sute, the Vedas are made up. They're not that old, Banner. Well, depends on who's researching. Yeah. Again, it's very easy to get lost, isn't it? Lost in these rabbit holes. Yeah. When really, I think that's the point. It's just like, yeah, use them as a guide and then come back to the inner journey. Yeah. Everything. Graham 9, free will. Yeah. I think that, yeah, that's the kind of, you have choices. You can make choices. I just hope that I do get another chance to come back and make better choices. Kim Dawes, you said something just now. Okay, here we are. No, hang on. Bill Hasford first. Yes, I know them all. I used to push it quite hard. I don't think they even thought it was an issue in Hebrew thought. They certainly did not think that they were on a ball. Okay. Oh, you're talking to Effed Up World. Yes, Donald. The ego gets in the way, definitely. Kim Dawes. God's promises use a flat plane to describe the promise, because those who he is communicating with would understand the comparison. Okay, hang on. God's promises use a flat plane to describe the promise, because those he is communicating with would... Okay. Okay. Nice one. Thanks for that, Kim. Okay, Effed Up World is pointing out Estraz. Auto hoax. Listening to another man tell you about his search for God or his relationship with is much more interesting than telling that man why he should approach the experience. That's a really good point. I like that. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, personal stories are wonderful, and yeah, that's a really nice way of saying it. Yeah. Effed Up World, I've read The Ascension of Isa on my channel and many other, how do you say that? Apocrypha books? It's a new word for me. Lev Kung Fu, sorry, the Jolly Man. Talking snakes, talking bushes. Don't say well. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was been telling my kids, with Christmas and everything, I've been telling my kids the story or the various stories around, whether it's, you know, Moses getting the tablets, and I'll tell them that this is the story, this is, you know, this is what goes with it. Whether you believe it or not is another thing, but, you know, and again, it's very similar. We all know these things. We all know how to create harmony instead of disharmony. Yeah, I suppose one of the big problems there is, you know, how do you know what's been left in or removed or changed in the Bibles? Yeah, you really got to go back to some ancient stuff, huh? Yeah, but just remember that scene in one of the Star Wars movies where Luke destroys the temple, the Jedi temple with all the books, and Yoda's there laughing because, yeah, it's like he understands that it's all here, it's within. Yeah, the books, take them or leave them. Yeah, but again, that's not to disrespect the books. And I appreciate, you know, I you guys telling us about these books and things. Yeah, I need to do some research. I mean, mine, obviously, I've been more focused on Buddhism and things like that here in Thailand. Yeah, so that's it. Anyway, I'm running out of steam, and I think it's fantastic. I really appreciate everyone coming in. Yeah, and it's great. I welcome all opinions, as long as you're not hating on each other. You know, just respect each other's point of view, and you know you see, one thing the Thais try to do when they meet someone is, even if it's you try to think of something nice to say to that person. Yeah, try to think of something positive to say. You look at them, you sit, and you know, you try and, you know, I think that just sets things off in a much better direction than having, you know, these things. So yeah, do not let these people, especially these, you know, so-called preachers and priests, they're telling you, that are trying to control the narrative. Yeah, they're not on God's side. They're not on the side of good. Yeah, so we all know this. We're all awake. We're immune to it. Yeah, do not be ruffled. Do not be drawn in by their nonsense. When one of them can come up with a measure of curvature, fine. Let's all go and do that. Let's go and measure curvature. Until then, they have nothing but empty rhetoric and beliefs, a religious belief that they are desperate for other people to come into. Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for coming in again for the second time, and thanks a lot for sharing everything. This is great. I love it. Thank you. Okay, it's great to diversify. Yeah. Oh, hello, Charlie. Thank you. All right, so I love you and leave you. All right, Sawadi Cup. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a wonderful Gregorian globalistic New Year. Don't get too smashed. Yeah. And yeah. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Ellen. And yeah. Let's catch up. Let's catch up in the fake New Year, under the fake sun, with fake snow. All right, take it easy. Cheers.